Alrighty, good morning, everyone. Well, I suppose I should say good afternoon. We got a lot of news today in today's Vanguard Tuesday live stream. So I'm gonna go ahead and just go through all the list of information we got, all the new regulations, all the new card reveals, all the new Vanguard Zero news that we got as well. So I'm gonna start with the TCG, and then we're gonna go to Zero after that. So, first off, we got a notice for Fighters Rules update. New card regulations will be added to the Fighters Rules set effective Friday, September 24th, and this is only affecting the standard format, so the overdressed format. The other information is available on the Fighters Rules page on the official website. I'm going to go ahead and talk about it right now, though. So, first off, we have Trigger Card Rule Update for the standard format of the game. Up to 8 cards with each of the above trigger types, critical, draw, and front can be included within the main deck. So basically what that means is you will only be able to add 8 of each kind of trigger up to a total of 16 total triggers. So those would be your 4 heal triggers, your 1 over trigger, and then from there you have slots for 8 other kinds of triggers. You can only add 8 of a kind of triggers. You could run 8 critical triggers, 4 draws, that's 12, 1 over trigger, that brings you to 13, meaning you have 3 more slots left for triggers that cannot be critical triggers since you already have 8 of those in your deck. Now you might be thinking, why did they add a regulation like this? Well, over the past week in the Japanese community of Vanguard, there's been a lot of drama and uproar regarding this. I will link a video down in the description by a guy named DifferentFight who goes over everything in a very succinct manner and explains why this is going on. So give that a click down below if you would like to learn more about that. But yeah, so they implemented this new regulation in regards to all the community backlash in the Japanese format of the game. Next up, we have a notice for premium. New card regulations for premium will be added to the Fighters Rules. We are going to get the new premium ban list next week on Tuesday, September 28th. The effective date for this new ban list for the premium format will be Friday, October 1st. I'm very excited for this. I will 100% be covering that next week. Stuff needs to be hit in premium, man. It really does. And another thing that was very, very exciting regarding this in the Japanese live stream today is that Dr. O, praise to him, let the Japanese community know that it's like, hey, some of you might be wondering why certain cards in premium were hit. Well, that's because we don't just look at the Japanese format, we also look at the global format. And in the global format of the game, these are really problem cards that needed to be hit. So he implored the Japanese community to be like, if you're wondering why, just go ahead and Google like what a card does and like how it's used in the English format of the game. And when I heard when he said that, I was like, oh my goodness, he's actually telling the Japanese community to look at the global community, because the Japanese side of the game does not really, at least a lot of them don't really look at global results. They really only pay attention to the Japanese format of the game, which isn't really helpful in my opinion. But yeah, next week I'll definitely be covering the new premium ban list. Next up, I got some new promo cards. So this one is Agonizing the Leader Eggbas. It is a Link Joker promo card. Its effects are auto when placed on Vanguard or Rearguard Circle. Costs Soul Blast 1 and discard a card with the leader and its card name from your hand. Search your deck for up to 2 cards with the leader and their card names, discard them, and shuffle your deck. If you discarded 2 cards from your deck, draw a card. Its second ability is auto when this unit is retired from Rearguard Circle. Cost Counterblast 1, choose a grade 3 card from your drop zone with the leader and its card name and return it to your hand. My opinion, it's okay. Not really needed, in my opinion, at the very least. It's a cool card though, looks nice. Maybe some people will run it. I don't really run the leaders, so I wouldn't really know. I think you can probably do like a hybrid type of like Deleter and maybe Starvader, like a Starvader Deleter hybrid, since your Vanguard does not need to be a Deleter when you activate this card's effect. You just need to do it and discard the Deleters from your hand to put the leaders from your deck into your drop zone. That's the Link Joker mains can test this. I'm not really one for this card. Alrighty, next promo that we got is a Dark Irregulars promo, Mega Rock Gigant. Auto, when the number of cards discarded from your hand for this cost is my bad. Auto. The number of cards discarded from your hand for the cost for this card's cost is reduced by 1 for every 5 cards in your soul. When this unit is put on Guardian Circle, cost counterblast 1 and discard 4 cards and perform one of the following. Choose one of your units, it gets power plus 10k until the end of turn, or choose one of your units and it cannot be hit until the end of battle. So basically the effect of this unit, its cost changes depending on how many cards you have in your soul. So if you have, it'd be 20 cards in your soul, you only need to counterblast 1. It's a pretty okay card, in my opinion, for Dark Irregulars. Dark Irregulars has a very decent amount of very good cards. It synergizes well with the clan. I think this is a pretty good promo, in my opinion. Now, both of these promos are for the Premium and V-Premium side of the game. But I also did get the reveal of one promo for the Overdress side of the game, and this is Bovine Blast Dragon, a Stoicheia promo. So, its effect is continuous on Vanguard or Rearguard Circle. This card may only attack on the 4th battle of each turn. It's not 4th or more, it is only 4th. I don't really like this card. Moving on, because let's get into some very hype stuff. Let's get into stuff for the G format of the game. Not the G, for Vanguard 0. Alright, so first off, we got a birthday celebration for Emmy. We get a banner, we get a symbol, and then we get this little card thing right here. And I assume we're going to as well have a birthday gacha for Bermuda Triangle. It's gonna be fun. I don't really play Bermudas, but nice for people who do play Bermudas in Zero. Next up, we get to the Vanguard 0 G news. So we got a couple things right here. First off, as we can see, we get a new UI for the G form for when G drops next month. We got so the fight screen over on this side right here, and then this is also a fight screen, but as we can see, we have different backgrounds for it. So you can change the background to whatever you want. So we can also see Chrono is the home character for this. They also updated the little UI changes, stamina, gems. This is your VP gifts. That's ranked and all that stuff. We also have I'm very excited for this. We have a casual queue now. So finally, you don't only have to play ranked. You can play like casual queue. Thank you, Game Studio. This is very much so needed. Sometimes I don't want to play ranked. Sometimes I just want to run a meme deck and just play casually. But yeah, so that's that for this slide of information. Oh, one other thing as well. If we zoom in right here, G grade. That's right. Fighters grade is getting not reset, but we're getting a new set of fighters grade for the G format of Vanguard 0. Next up, so your daily quests are going to be changed to, daily missions are going to be changed to fighters quests, which are essentially like your daily quests, essentially like you would get in like Hearthstone, you get in Shadowverse, games such as that. So you get, I believe it's 7 quests, I believe. Yeah, I want to say it's 7 quests, and you can exchange up to 3 of them each day. So like you can like switch out one quest for a different quest up to 3 times each day, just like you can in some other mobile card games of the sort. In the My Room section of the game, they are adding Chrono, Tokaha, and Shion. And they are changing the way that character fights work for the G section of the game. So the way that character fights in the original version of the game is going to remain the same, but you will have a different version of character fights for the G format of the game. As we can see, we have the universal materials as well as the clan materials right here. We can see how many common materials we have as well, so you don't need to click into the character fight, see how many you got, click out, go to a different one. It's all in the same screen. We're just going to be starting with 3 new character fights. We are starting with Chrono, who will be representing Gear Chronicles, Shion, who will be representing Royal Paladins, and Mamoru, who will be representing, not Dragon Empire, sorry, in Overdress brain right now, who will be representing Kagero. So also they will be getting rid of friendship level and bond level and friendship stories like that, because they will be adding story keys, which will be dropped from which will be dropped from character fights. So you can see we have a Gear Chronicle story key, a Royal Paladin story key, and I want to say that's Dragon Empire story key, or maybe this is Chrono, Shion, and Mamoru. So you can see this is how you'll be getting character stories from now on. You get keys from drops in character fights, and you will use them to upgrade stories. So you can see it looks like that you will get things like gems and maybe crafting materials. I can't really see all too well from this image, but yeah, that is how we will be getting character stories from now on. So this is just succinctly tidying up all of the new information that we got for the UI sections and the general improvements. So, my bad. Daily missions will be turned to fighters quests. The whole things we will now have two different ways of experiencing the game, either the original card capital or the new G version of it. And then all that stuff, we're also getting BGM. We're allowed to change BGM. We will get different BGMs, which is finally, thank you. I've been playing this game on mute ever since month 3 because we've had the same BGM for over a year. But now I can I can listen to all of the G BGM. I can rock out with like some of my favorite tracks from all of Vanguard in the G format. It's gonna be great. Now then, how about we talk about some new mechanics, huh? We're getting Stride, of course. So, Strides. You stride using a grade 4 card. The way that you do it is you discard cards from your hand that equal grade 3 or greater. So you can discard 3 grade 1s, a grade 1 and a grade 2, or 1 grade 3 or greater card. And then you can take 1 card from your G zone and write it on your Vanguard. So when you are in Stride, as you can see, let me go ahead and move myself off to the side right there. As we can see, Chronos Command Dragon, for example, is a grade 4 with 15,000 power with a little plus sign. Now you might be wondering, what does that plus sign mean? Huh? Well, I'll go ahead and tell you what that plus sign means. What it means is that it's 15,000 power plus the heart card. Now what is the heart card, you may ask? Is the Vanguard that you were on before you strode. So in this case, if you were to ride Chronos Command Dragon over Chrono Jet Dragon, it'd be 15,000 power plus Chrono Jet Dragon's original power. So Chrono Jet Dragon is known as the heart card. Inherent effects of the Strides they are grade 4. They also have triple drive. So that is a new mechanic, triple drive inside of Vanguard 0. Inherently, it's not like you need to activate an effect like some dimensional police cards. No, these cards always inherently have triple drive. Next up, we're going to need to talk about. Whoops, let me go ahead and. There we go. Okay, next up, we have the reveal of how Generation Break works. If you don't know what Generation Break is, essentially, it is when you total all of the face-up G units that you currently have in your G zone and on the field. You add them together, that's what your Generation Break number is. And some skills require you to have a certain amount of Generation Break. For example, this is Generation Break 2, meaning you need to have 2 face-up G units. So that's those can be both of them are in your G zone, one of them's in your G zone, and one of them is on the field. So if you have one face-up G unit and one that you are currently on the field as your Vanguard, that is Generation Break 2. That's how Generation Break works. So then, we can finally get into some card effects now that we have that background information out of your way. First up is Chrono Jet Dragon. He is a triple rare and is the main boss unit of Gear Chronicles Chrono, main character of the G series Chrono Shindo. So, his effects. Generation Break 2 on Vanguard Circle. When this Vanguard attacks, power plus 5k when in Generation Break 2. And when the opponent would guard with a PG, or with a Sentinel, my apologies, with a Sentinel, the opponent must discard 1 grade 3 or higher card, or they cannot guard. So this is a glory mainstream effect. They have to discard a grade 3 to guard with a Sentinel if you swing in for lethal. They don't have a grade 3 in hand. They can't guard it with a Sentinel. Better hope that they can guard it with those new heal shields. that we saw last week. Second effect, Vanguard Circle. On stride, counterblast 1, target one of the opponent's rear guards, send a card to the bottom of the deck. So it's not discarding removal, it's targeted removal, sending it to the bottom of the deck. It bounces to the bottom of the deck, so you are preventing Legion from that. Like any Legion deck from getting cards into the drop zone to Legion those away. So that's a good little counter right there. And the third effect, which is a new effect added to this card, is on place on Vanguard Circle, gain plus 3,000 power until the end of turn. Nice, allows you to hit for that'd be 1900 on yeah, it allows to swing for 1900. 1900 on place. It's quite nice numbers right there. Next up, we have Doki Doki Worker. It is a critical trigger grade 0 double rare. So this is locked as a critical trigger, similar to how Ururu last week was locked as a heal trigger. So we are getting more grade 0 triggers to be added to your grade 3 lineup, to your grade 3 zone in your deck construction. So on Rearguard Circle, when your Vanguard attacks, if it is a grade 3 or higher Chronojet Dragon, put this unit into Soul to draw one card and give your Vanguard plus 5,000 power until the end of turn. And then its second effect, which is massive, if checked on damage, draw one card. So essentially what this is on damage, it is a heal trigger, but on drive check, it's a critical trigger. This is so good. I love it so much. I love this card design, and more than likely, each clan's gonna get a card like this. So I can finally run crits in my Neonectar build when the Neonectar version of the card comes out, presumably in set 2, because in set 1 we are only getting Royal Paladin, Deer Chronicle, and Kagero. Alright, next card we got to talk about is, of course, Steam Breath Dragon, a double rare. He was originally a rare back in the TCG. It's quite saddening that he's a double rare now. So, when placed from hand on Rearguard Circle, discard one card. Search your deck for a grade 3 Chronojet Dragon, and for a grade 3 Chronojet, my apologies, not just Chronojet Dragon, any grade 3 Chronojet, and add that card to hand. Second effect. In hand, when discarding this card for the cost of stride, you may treat this card as a grade 3 card. Has those effects on the TCG. Quite nice, very important for the deck. Finally, the last card we're going to talk about is they revealed one of the GRs of the set. It is Ragnarok Dragon. First effect is obviously stride, so you had to pay the stride cost in order to ride this card from the G zone. So on Vanguard Circle, when this card attacks a Vanguard, counterblast 1 and persona flip a card. What that means is you take one card from your G zone, who is the exact same card as this card, flip it face up from the G zone. For that battle, the opponent cannot guard with grade 0 cards, but they can still guard with Sentinel, so it just prevents the new heal trigger guards from going off. They can still guard with Sentinels though. Then, if you have 2 face-up G units in your G zone, for that battle, gain 1 critical, then target 1 rearguard your opponent controls and send it to the bottom of the deck. It's good. This is your finisher for the deck. You're gonna want to ride it. You're gonna want to stride into this towards the end, towards the end of the game. Like I said, it's your finisher. So yeah, that is all of the news for today. We are almost running at 20 minutes. Thank you all so very much for watching. I will most definitely be covering all the news next week as well, as it is the last week before G comes out in the Japanese format. It's gonna be great. Thank you all so very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all those YouTube things. I will see you all next time for the next video. See ya.